LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing, co-hosts Brian Schmidt, PJ Noodleman, and producer Dangerous Dan Margetta. Call the show anytime at 414-421-7901. And now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
Only I'm not Todd Bailing. He is with us, though. Hi, I'm PJ Noodleman, and we are joined by Todd Bailing from down in Miami. Hello, Todd.
I am getting ready to get on a cruise ship with Kenny Wallace and Kim Wallace and the rest of the Kenny Wallace fan club. But I'm in a lobby of a hotel right now, and I got a bunch of people staring at me, so I have to pretend I'm not talking.
That should not be, that should actually be very hard for you. Also joining us on the show, obviously, are the other co-hosts. We have Dan Margetta with us. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning. Yeah, I'm back here in good old snowy Wisconsin. Todd's the only one in sunshine, I guess, because you're in rain, right, PJ? And
exactly.
Todd, you shouldn't be too not used to this. We used to do the show that way from Daytona when you used to have to do it from the payphone because you didn't get credentials. Remember, it was the only payphone you had.
People standing around going, how long is this going to take?
Lord.
And then we have Brian Schmidt from Ootsburg as well.
Yep. Feel like an Eskimo up here in my igloo. Can't wait to retire and move where it's warmer because this is terrible.
It has been brutal. And I am in Pensacola right now where it has been raining nonstop since we all got to town.
Was there a drought before you got there? Is that what I hear?
Yeah, there was a drought, and then now it's like Mother Nature has decided is a good time to get caught up on the moisture levels. So last night they had the prolates that
this morning, you mean?
Well, technically, yeah, but they did get qualifying in last night for the Snowball Derby. That was kind of a cluster as well. On the pole today for the Snowball Derby will be Preston Peltier. Ty Majeski went out third in qualifying, which is not normally a good deal, but he actually held the top position until Preston came out and cracked off a little faster than him. So those two will make up the front row, which is exciting. Casey Johnson was another Wisconsinite that had to qualify early. That poor guy has had so much trouble early on in this weekend. We can go through all of the things that are going on with him later on in the show. I don't want to blow our wad this early, but it's been an exciting and kind of up and down weekend for a lot of teams because of this rain. The whole program last night did go into the early morning hours. They did get qualifying in for the Snowflake, the prolates, and they got the race in too, but good gracious, it wasn't done until, I don't even know, was it like 2:30, 3 o'clock? 3:30 in the morning?
3:30 a.m. is what I was told by 3:30 a.m. they finished, told by one of our cohorts from up here who was down there.
Oh, I didn't look at the clock, if I'm being honest, but yeah, it was late. So then we're all back here early again this morning, and it is raining, so the schedule is already getting shifted. All of the haulers are still getting moved out of the infield. The Donnie Wilson triage is already out. They just left. Anthony Campy Racing, he's got his hauler in here yet. And there's a few other ones that still have to get their patooties out of here because they move everything out of the infield so that the fans in the stands have a good view. Hoping that we have lots of fans in the stands today because this rain has just been persistent.
But now it's supposed to go off at 1 o'clock as the scheduled start time, but with the weather going on, it's probably not going to happen then.
No.
You think you're going to get a race in today?
I would just about bet it. That sounds like they're willing to even go into the evening. The drivers' meeting, I think, is happening right now, but I'm not 100% sure yet because they were going to be moving that as well. But I'm pretty sure that they're going to get more news, and then I'll grab it from them when they're done.
I'll be head-to-head with the Packer game. Perfect.
Perfection. Yeah. I probably am not going to be able to get the driver interviews that I would love to do because with it raining, they're all like farts in the wind. You know, I mean, they're going to be ducking and covering and just not really hanging out as easily accessible as they have been in the past. So in advance, I'm going to apologize for not being able to provide the kind of coverage that we normally are accustomed to here at the Snowball Derby.
And you got to figure they're probably not going to be in the best moods after being down and getting rained down for 3 days straight. I mean, this is kind of like the worst possible scenario can happen.
Yeah,
for drivers,
it really is.
Fans, promoters. I mean, I feel bad for Tim Bryant down there because what are you going to do? You can't control the weather, and when it just continuously pours on you like this and makes it that much more difficult. It's just hard to do. They're going to get through it though.
Absolutely. And he's been real good spirited about everything. That guy's Tim Bryant has been doing everything he can to try to make as many people happy as he can. But as you know, you never can make everybody happy. But yeah, it's out of his hands. And I think overall, everybody's been just kind of rolling with the punches because, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just frustrating to have the biggest event of the year be just marred by nothing but nonstop wetness. Because even if it's projected for the rain to stop around 12:30 today, this place is so saturated with moisture that it's going to take a while to get the track dry. Even last night for qualifying for the Snowball Derby, the track was really not completely dry. There was a lot of wetness yet on the track, and they went ahead and rolled her off to get her started because they needed to. And then we ended up with a lot of mist yet coming down that was not even perceptible on the radar.
Ooh,
That
that's
was
a good word.
I figured-
Perceptible.
Can't dry the track like that.
No, it was just brutal. And there's a couple guys that ended up crashing too. Mike Hopkins was the one that was the most brutal. I think he had a left rear shock brake on the back stretch. I saw it spark, and then he went winging into the turn and ass end first into the wall and just crushed the car. So he was toast and didn't even get to take a qualifying lap. But that was not weather rain related. That was definitely a parts failure on his.
It was pretty
part.
impressive though to see because when you saw the qualifying draw come out and you saw Derek Kraus be like the second car out and Tyler Jessica be a third car out, you're thinking that's not good. But boy, those two both made the show. I mean, Derek, when was the last time he qualified in on time? It's been a while, so congratulations to him. Both those guys make the show. And as it turned out, that probably was a good thing to be earlier because you didn't have all the speedy dry on the track, and it was probably drier than it was later.
Well, even that, before they did the draw on Wednesday, I asked Ty Majeski, I said, what are you hoping that you draw? And he sat and he thought about it for a minute. He says, actually, I'm kind of hoping somewhere between 1 and 10. And I said, early? Really? He said, yeah, because the track will be green and I won't have to deal with all kinds of other rubber on the track then. And he said that because he was anticipating the rain washing any of the modified rubber or anything else off. Turns out those guys are going to be running on Monday anyway, the modifieds. But I just thought it was interesting that he actually wanted to go early. Not this early, he said, but he would have preferred maybe around 10 or 11.
Didn't want to be 6 and 7 like Casey Johnson and Eric Jones because they went out right after the guy crashed and kind of cleaned the track for everybody else, I guess, which kind of sucks when you've been there all weekend and it's so important with qualifying that. I'm not sure that they would have made the top 30 anyways, but they wouldn't have been 42nd and 43rd or wherever they were.
Yeah, they certainly had a lot of challenges this weekend. And we can chat about that, I guess, real quickly, because I know we've got the NASCAR court case to chat about too. But yeah, Casey Johnson had engine issues as well too. Austin Nason and his team, they're down here, and they actually were loaning Casey and his team a backup engine to put in so that they could have a shot at it. And it just, every time something would go wrong, it was like every turn something was happening to that poor team. But yeah, and then they decided to not even run that last chance qualifier because how much do you really want to push your luck, right? When you see all the stop signs, you probably should quit blowing them, right?
Yeah. Probably trying to tell you something.
Exactly. So yeah, Casey Johnson, unfortunate that he isn't going to be able to have the weekend come to fruition. And he looked pretty decent in practice, when the car was running.
Blew an engine and borrowed one, I guess, huh?
Yeah, that's what we were just saying with Austin Nason helping out. So anyway, the rain is persisting, and car covers are still on everybody's car, and that's a concern too, because when you get the moisture in the air like that, you're going to have to really be cautious to not let it get down into the air filter, into the air box, and cause all kinds of other issues. There was a lot of people who were having some burp and hiccuping with their cars that just did not like. Noah Gregson, former winner of this race, his car was just a turd after all the rain that we had. I don't know if they just didn't fog the engine or do what they needed to do to help prevent it from getting nasty, but he did not make the race.
All the big NASCAR guys that were there, I mean, most of them didn't make it. I mean, Kyle Busch had to win the last chance race to get in. Gregson didn't make the show. Eric Jones didn't make the show. It was kind of like surprising that they were better than what they were.
Yeah, and Kyle Busch is running the is it Brian Lopez racing car? And I know when they were down here practicing earlier, like a couple weeks ago or so, Kyle apparently wanted them to set the car up like what he had here, in the years that he was running. And I don't know that would have been the best thing to do because things change, right? Technology changes in such a way that in Kyle's heyday, I hate to say it that way, but when he was running here, things that he was doing for setup are probably not going to be as advantageous today as they were back then. So I don't know if that was what the hiccup was for him or not.
Break time.
All right. Well,
All right. Yep, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more news live from the Snowball Derby and with the court case with NASCAR. This is the LTN Hour.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Hey, Matthew, give me a hand with this tree.
Dad, let's get a real tree this year.
Hey, leave that fake tree in the box under the basement steps this year. Get a real tree from PMF Landscape on River Road in West Bend. Any kind of real tree imaginable, up to 18 feet. A huge assortment of Christmas decorations, including wreaths in 3 sizes, cemetery wreaths, festive global hanging ornaments, bows, garland roping, and more. Stop in 7 days a week during the holiday season, have refreshments, and check everything out. How about a PMF gift certificate? The perfect gift. PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 South River Road in West Bend. Call them 262-338-8800.
Dad, our tree from PMF Landscape looks great.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Welcome back to the LTN Hour. It is Snowball Derby weekend, but it's more like Rain Derby. We'll have more updates from here where I'm at in a bit. But in the meantime, the NASCAR court case continues with 2311 and company versus NASCAR. Dan Margetta, what's the state of the state now?
Yeah, I mean, it actually made it to court, which is everybody was kind of surprised it made it this far, but now we're here and it's off and rolling. They chose a jury this week. They had some witnesses. I'm not sure exactly which side is exactly winning. I think both sides got some pretty good hits in, and both sides kind of took some hits. And then in the end, again, I'm still not sure which side's going to come out of this as the winner. I just got a feeling that no matter how it ends, nobody's going to come out looking good at this. Like I said, this week, Denny Hamlin was the first witness up on Monday, and it was pretty contentious, apparently. You can kind of see how much tension is between NASCAR and the teams, and it's kind of built over the last, 3 years, I think, since they've been trying to negotiate this charter deal. It's really gotten more nasty than you really saw in public, I guess, because the testimony was not very it was cordial for court, but you can tell that they didn't really have some
gloves were off, so to speak.
Exactly. Some of the things that popped out, I guess. Let's just highlight some of the things we had here. That Denny claimed that as owning part of 2311, he has to compete with NASCAR for sponsors, and NASCAR denied that. They said that was false, and I'm not sure. I kind of see where Denny's coming from on that. I mean,
absolutely.
One thing that was brought up was, what about Geico? Geico's a NASCAR sponsor. That was Germain's sponsor before it went to NASCAR, right? I mean, Geico was gone now, obviously, but when they came, that they went out. I've seen in the past where sponsors have left from teams and went to NASCAR. I've also seen where sponsors have come to NASCAR and said, we want to be a part of this, and they've steered them to teams, and they've done that.
But they're taking their cut out of that, too.
Right, exactly. I mean, there's a book, back in 1996, some guy named Sean Assel wrote a book about the NASCAR season. We got a copy of it because he was on a radio show. It was actually a pretty decent book to read. In it said it was it went behind with Brett Bodine when he took over for Junior Johnson. When Junior got out, he kind of left Brett Bodine with everything, and they had, I think, Lowe's, I think, was on the car, and that kind of was one of those deals that was kind of steered that way through NASCAR kind of deal. It kind of explains how that worked. They did help out, but that was back in an area where they were working together. It was before charters, and now they're not. Another thing they brought up, salaries. Denny makes $14 million a year. That's a pretty huge salary right now in this day and age.
That's got to be by far the highest in the series, you would think, right?
I think it is. I mean,
and Dan, I think that deserves some explanation though, because for the average person listening, 14 million, they're going to be like, "Damn, that's a lot," but it's really not.
Well, I mean, it's not when you look at what other sports guys are making. I mean, there's pitchers are making $22 million a year,
and they're probably not risking their life throwing a pitch.
That too.
Winning races is kind of a big deal there too. He goes out and wins.
It's sponsorship's what it is. I mean, you had FedEx was there for so long, and they were under the old way where sponsors paid that much money to sponsor a team, so they stayed under that agreement, and Jenny was able to make that. Kyle Busch was making crazy money when M&M's was around, and then when they left, it kind of went down. Now I don't think anybody's that way, because you remember back when when Matt Kenseth kind of got forced out of the whole deal. What he was making, there were guys that were coming up and they were signing for way less. What would Bowman sign to drive that 88 car? It was like ridiculously low compared to everybody else was doing it.
Like 400,000
or something like that. And they're like crazy low. That's why guys are getting upset. I remember being in a press conference back then when Kevin Harvick kind of called out Dale Jr. because Dale Jr. had said, well, these guys got to realize they got to take a pay cut. And it was after Jr. retired, and Harvick was like, hey man, you're retired already. We're still here fighting this. We don't need to be putting your 2 cents on this.
Dan, think of it this way. Reese Hoskins, who turned out to be a backup first baseman for the Brewers, made $17 million last year, and he didn't go out and risk his life and win a handful of races and qualify for the playoffs. I just, for a championship. So I can't help but think that there's a lot of relativity here. What do Formula One drivers make?
Not as much.
Isn't Hamilton the highest paid athlete in the planet? Right up there. Lewis Hamilton.
It's only 1 or 2. I think there's not many. There are some that are making less than Denny Hamlin. I mean,
unbelievable.
It is. It's kind of but to get to that level like other sports are, I mean, I guess maybe the whole thing has to change. Maybe, but will racing ever get to that point? I was kind of thinking about that too in this whole deal there. Jordan was on the stand too, and he was trying to compare it to NBA. And how much percentage they get of all the revenues. And same when you look at football, right? All the teams kind of own the league. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Will that work in racing? I mean, can all the teams get together and own like NASCAR? Because I see it.
How does that work when a team leaves, though? I mean,
is that not what kart was? And in IndyCar, and that exploded.
That's what I'm saying.
I should say. Yeah.
Every race team I've seen where teams got together and tried to run something, nobody could get together on the same page.
No.
It ended up. Look at just short tracks.
Exactly.
I mean, can you make that work? I don't know.
No. As they say, those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it. Well, we don't want a repeat of what happened with kart, because that destroyed IndyCar for decades.
Well, we may already be there with this. I mean, when this is all done. I mean, we're 60 some days away, right, from the Daytona 500. I don't see any promotions for that. All I see is
right
court yelling at each other. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, some of the things that had come up this week, some of the witnesses were Hamlin was there. They had Steve O'Donnell on the stand. I think Scott Prime was on the stand. Heather Gibbs came in and testified, and then Michael Jordan. And Jordan's deal, that's going to be a big deal with this jury in Charlotte. I mean, Jordan's a pretty popular figure in Charlotte still, in North Carolina. I mean, there were guys. Did you see the guy playing his Bulls music when he walked into court?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's one of the jurors actually got dismissed because he said he couldn't be impartial because he's such a Jordan fan. And he gave him the high five or thumbs up or something as he left the courtroom.
Fist bump. Yeah. No kidding.
But things that they had touched that I thought was kind of interesting. They talked about SRX, and how they were kind of concerned with them in the last 2 years of their series. They only ran for 3 years because they said it's starting to look like NASCAR. I think they were concerned their NASCAR guys were starting to go over there. And I really think there was a real concern that some of these teams and drivers would try to start a separate competing series somewhere, or go drive somewhere else, or try to get somewhere else because the negotiations were going so bad. Speedway Motorsports wanted an SRX race. They wanted to use that revenue to pay down their debt. and NASCAR wouldn't let them because there were exclusivity deals in track sanctions. They got those 5-year deals, and part of that 5-year deal was you couldn't have another stock car race or another race at your facility other than NASCAR. They listed a bunch of series that were okay to have, like IndyCar, IMSA, and some of their major ones. I did notice that Trans Am wasn't on that list, and I was starting to think. I asked Brian, I said, hey, when they left Road America, was that when Trans Am got their full weekend?
Yep.
I mean, I wonder, because Trans Am wanted their full weekend, as we understood, right? They didn't want to be
correct. Yep, they didn't like playing second fiddle.
Well, I wonder if that wasn't something that went into it too, as far as that was part of that. If they even had an exclusivity deal, because they didn't have a 5-year deal with Road America. Road America was kind of a stopgap.
Break time.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
we can get into some more of this as we go on, but there's a lot of stuff that came in. It's almost, if you went through it all, it'd be crazy. It's a lot to take in, and you kind of go hit and miss, just hit and talk about certain things this way as we go. So what we can do is we can get.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines. Just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company in the heart of Wisconsin is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Welcome back to the LTN Hour. We are live from multiple locations today. Todd Bailing down in Miami, preparing to go on to the Kenny Wallace cruise. Dan Margetta and Brian Schmidt both back in Wisconsin in snow. And I am down in Pensacola for the Snowball Derby, where it continues to rain persistently.
I guess I can't get any sympathy for this air conditioner blowing right on me. And I got shorts and a T-shirt on, and it's really cold.
You know, if I could take a snowball and throw it right through my computer screen right now, I would. But I can't.
Oh,
my
darn
computer
it.
Screen.
Yeah, that's a damn shame.
Yeah, some other things that came up in the trial so far this week was Chicago and Mexico. Looks like NASCAR says they lost $55 million on Chicago and $6 million on Mexico. And apparently there was, in the past, there was a 3-strike rule that was in these agreements, like a 3-strike veto rule where teams could somehow like get out of NASCAR if they vetoed 3 decisions or there 3 decisions they were able to not agree with. And they did away with that, I think, in the prior agreement. But the interesting part there was that NASCAR had said that with that rule still in place, they would have never went to Mexico and never wouldn't have gone to Chicago on the street course because they probably would have been vetoed. The teams probably wouldn't want to do it because they didn't like the logistics of it and the extra travel and stuff.
And NASCAR's claiming, so they lost the $55 million over 3 years at Chicago, but they credited that race with being the sole responsibility of luring Amazon.
Yeah, that and Mexico.
Yeah.
They said that's what brought Amazon into the new broadcast right thing, that they got them interested because of that. I kind of can see Chicago maybe because of the first. It was kind of a hit. We were there, Brian. That first did well, and it was kind of cool. But then again, was it sustainable? Was it that one thing that drew another network?
Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, also they said they lost $13 million on the Clash at the Coliseum. I mean, these numbers I mean, we kind of knew they lost a lot of money, but I think this is more than I ever thought. I didn't think it was that much. You lose $6 million in Mexico, you lose $55 million over 3 years in Chicago, and you lose $13 million over 2 years. Is it 2 or 3 years at the Clash? And Steve O'Donnell makes $1.2 million a year as his salary. Holy cow!
Yeah, and Scott Prime was like $400,000, I think, for him. The guy made. What did he make the comment? That's a lot of money for someone that just shows slides or something. I'm like,
That's hilarious.
The expense at the Coliseum, I think, came for Dean Strom, who was the announcer.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, right.
That is ridiculous amount of money, and I think that what they are trying to illustrate here is that NASCAR has not been very prudent with their spending, but yet they don't worry about it because they're making so damn much money.
And I guess you could look at it like from an old school perspective, like we kind of do, and how the way things used to be. Look at that Road America race on the 4th of July. You gave 100,000 people each 2 years of that to go run and lose tons of money in Chicago. Now you're claiming you gained more money down the road, but I can see where racers look at that and say, why did we do that?
Yeah, but they didn't. And I think that's the point that needs to be made is, okay, you did it your first year, your expenses were high because you had to build the track, you had to do that, but you weren't ever able to get ahead of it. And this past year when we were there, I mean, the crowd was very minimal. There wasn't a lot of sweets sold. They weren't able to do any of that kind of stuff. So it didn't work. But then we keep hearing that in 2 years we're going to do it again. Why? You're not making any money with it, Because
they can't take a cut out of Road America because they don't own it, and they can't take a cut out of the Milwaukee Mile because they don't own it. And that is what I think 2311 is trying to illustrate.
Yeah,
they're making decisions based solely upon what they can line their pockets with.
I'm glad this stuff is coming out for everybody to see, because it's kind of stuff we thought might be there, and now you're seeing the real numbers, and you're really like, whoa.
And now Jordan's testimony said, I mean, he claims they want to all be a partner. And what he said was kind of be great if everybody could be that. If your owners and the sanctioning body could all be on the same page and come together with some kind of a deal. I'm sure you're going to have some differences, but don't lose sight of the big picture. I mean, kind of like the NFL. Remember the NFL a couple of years ago? They were going to go on strike, and I thought, oh my God, how are you going to throw away that? That was billions of dollars there. And then in the last minute, they kind of all figured it out, because they realized what you're going to lose. I don't think they've, at this point now in the NASCAR thing, the teams and NASCAR, everybody, what you could lose when this thing all blows up. Because it's going to be in the hands of, what, is it 6 or 9 jurors? 6 jurors or 9?
You almost get the feeling that Michael Jordan is doing this for entertainment purposes. I've lost more in a casino than this has costed me. Well, great. You gotta have an end game, and obviously they didn't want to make any kind of a negotiation about it and make a settlement. So how, if that's what your end game is, it's just to make NASCAR look stupid. Okay, you've done it. I think it's time to get it going now. Let's come up with some kind of settlement.
You almost need to, because I don't know. If you take NASCAR completely out of the equation, what do you have left, and where do you go from there? Can you put something together that's going to last 75 years? I don't know.
And this jury too. I mean, so you got 9 jurors, 6 men, 3 women. What are they thinking? I heard I think it was the Teardown podcast guys were talking about it. I believe it was either Monday or Wednesday. I was watching it. They're after every day after court, they kind of go through the whole thing, and Jordan Bianchi was saying how they almost look bored sitting there. Well, can you think about it? Most people that go to a jury, you're either dealing with somebody that killed somebody or somebody that altered somebody's life forever. This you're listening to 2 rich people bicker at each other. It's kind of what it sounds like.
I want more money.
Yeah, and what are you going to decide? And if you're not into NASCAR at all, it's like, what is the end game here? And I mean, the jurors can't ask no questions, but you got to be like, okay, I'm sitting here getting $50 a day for 10 days to sit here and watch this. What is the end game, and who's going to win? And if we side on 2311 side, what is the end result? Where are we going forward from? Nobody's going to jail. So what is the end game here?
Got to take a break, guys.
We'll be back after these messages.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
Hey, Matthew, give me a hand with this tree.
Dad, let's get a real tree this year.
Hey, leave that fake tree in the box under the basement steps this year. Get a real tree from PMF Landscape on River Road in West Bend. Any kind of real tree imaginable, up to 18 feet. A huge assortment of Christmas decorations, including wreaths in 3 sizes, cemetery wreaths, festive global hanging ornaments, bows, garland roping, and more. Stop in 7 days a week during the holiday season, have refreshments, and check everything out. How about a PMF gift certificate? The perfect gift. PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 South River Road in West Bend. Call them 262-338-8800.
Dad, our tree from PMF Landscape looks great.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Oh, welcome back to the LTN Hour. We are live from multiple locations. Todd Bailing in Miami as he's set to get onto the cruise ship with Kenny Wallace, and Dan and Brian back in Wisconsin in the snow, and I'm PJ Noodleman in Pensacola at Five Flags Speedway, where the rain continues to fall, and we are in a holding pattern for the Snowball Derby to get underway this afternoon.
They're going to do it one way or the other, though, right?
Yeah, they are. It just might not be run. We might be running under the lights. Who knows? This weather has just been so lousy the whole week, honestly.
Did they record that snowball race yesterday that they'll show like maybe at a different time when people are awake?
You can watch
Snowflake?
it on Flow.
Yeah, it's on Flow.
Yeah, I started watching it this morning. It's an hour and 25 minutes if you want to watch it on Flow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keelan Harvick was the winner of that one, which we'll cover in our results later on, but pretty stout little boy.
We had a caller before we went on the air who had a plan. He figured that the owners, specific top money owners, should take over NASCAR. Let NASCAR have a couple of percentage points of the ownership, and the rest of it be run by the owners themselves. Isn't this kind of thing been tried before? I mean, does it work?
I don't know. I mean, F1 sold to Liberty Media, and they were pretty successful with it. That's a company there. And Fox bought IndyCar, right? I mean, would somebody be out there to, buy NASCAR? Or would they be what's interested in selling to a group and being maybe a percentage ownership or something? I don't know. I mean, it could be a way to get out of this, though.
Unbelievable.
I mean, there's other news that's gone on, too, which kind of came out during the trial when Denny Hamlin was testifying, is that we didn't realize that the competition director over at Joe Gibbs Racing, Chris Gabehart, who's a pretty big part of that team, has actually left the organization.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising. And the rumor is that he may be going to Spire. I mean, leaving Gibbs to go to Spire, that seems kind of strange.
Sounds like
be
money
more,
to me.
Yeah, there's got to be more behind this, or a lot of money behind it, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
That's a big hit to Gibbs, though, I think. I think Gabehart's pretty good. He was Hamlin's crew chief up until this last year when they moved him to that competition director role, and then gave Chris Gale over to Denny Hamlin. So, I mean, Gabehart's is an old racer. I mean, I saw him win a super late model race at IRP years ago, and I think he's a pretty good guy. But Spire's got a lot of good people over there. They seem to be piling up these good people, but never seem to get the results, though,
And or is it the overhead, too, right?
Yeah.
Or is it a situation where Gabehart didn't like doing that stuff? Maybe he wants to get back on the pit box and be more hands-on instead of just being a director where you kind of sit at a desk and coordinate it all. So really no comments, and Denny Hamlin had no comments either, so we really don't know the story behind it.
No, yeah, that's something that's crazy. And then had some sad news this week, right, Todd?
Yeah, it's unbelievable that Michael Annette passed away at the ripe old age of 39 years old. Are you kidding me? He quit racing, what, about 5 years ago, right, Dan?
Yeah, 2021. So yeah, just about 5 years almost.
4 years ago? Okay. Um, let's just, we'll wait and see if something comes out about what the actual cause of death was, because they're not saying anything at this point. But yeah, it's just a real slap in the face that, first of all, to lose anybody at the age of 39. I guess the question is, did it have anything to do with why he suddenly quit racing 4 years ago? Was he battling some sort of disease? I guess that'll come out in the future. But either way, it's pretty bad.
No, I don't know, because he he retired out there 2 years ago. Brian and I were at his only win at Daytona.
Yeah, Daytona. Kept waiting for somebody to pass him, and nobody did. He just hung on and won it.
He was a money guy, Dan, wasn't he?
Well, I mean, he brought his family is big with the Pilot and Flying J.
Yeah, they own the Pilot travel stops.
Was it his PR guy? Or what was Sammy Smith's dad was one of his like advisors or something like that, and that's kind of why that he went with Smith when he came through. Okay, up to the Xfinity Series. Another guy that passed away out west. You probably don't know much about the name here. I know out west is a pretty big name. Is Nick Joanides. I've seen him when I went to West Coast races and stuff. He was 55, and I'm not sure what happened there, but he passed away as well. He crashed or broke his knee back in October, and I think it might have been at the Bull Ring during an ARCA race. I have to go back and see exactly what it was, but he put it on Facebook that he had gotten the bandages off and now the cast off and stuff, and he was looking forward to wearing jeans again and getting on back. And that was about like 2 weeks ago, and now he passed away too. So I'm not sure what the problem was there. He was 55.
Jeez.
We have some other news too from the short track world. I don't know if you'd heard this, but Wesley Weed, he's the Weeder guy, the Weeder Nation that does a lot of the tires for teams. He had an aneurysm or a stroke of some sort earlier this week down here in Pensacola, and has been in the hospital down here ever since. And it's kind of touch and go. So everybody was asking for prayers for him too. But that's a guy that does a boatload of tires for these teams here at the Five Flag Speedway for this big event. So
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah. And he's been around a while. I mean, if you talk about, calling people racers, Wesley's a racer because he's been a part of this deal for a long time, and it's kind of his life, right?
Absolutely was. Yeah, he travels around the country to do that, but there's so many teams here that were basically relying on him. He's got some guys that work for him that are trying to pick up the slack here and handle everything this weekend. So, I mean, again, it's just one more thing for everybody that's already dealing with a lot of stressful situation with the weather. And now you've got something dire like an aneurysm or a stroke.
I should have probably asked this before we are discussing it, but Alex Prunty does tires at a lot of these major events, and I wonder if he works with him or, is it a different outfit completely? And if anybody, if the four of us would know, maybe PJ, you would.
I think Alex is down here helping. Toby just got into the car with me here, and he thinks that he is down here helping him too. I mean, he has worked with him in the past. Yeah, I don't think he goes to every race, but he does do a lot of them.
Well, Alex was working hard last week at the Freedom Factory. I know he did a bunch of tires for a bunch of cars. So I don't know if Wesley Weed was there with him or not.
Yeah, they were going out to eat on, I don't know what night it was, Tuesday night maybe? Tuesday night. They went out to eat. Here, Toby, you heard it more than I did.
They went out to eat, and after right at the end of when they were eating, he was slurring his words, and then I guess either fell or couldn't walk, so they took him to emergency. And then shortly after they did surgery, and I don't exactly know how all it went, but right now he's in the hospital. They got him in a coma. They got him
sedated.
Hasn't been awake yet.
An induced coma because of the bleeding on the brain. They didn't want it to be a problem.
Oh, it was a brain aneurysm.
I don't know.
Geez.
You hear stories, but it's possible that he's going to be paralyzed on his left side or some sort. It's not good. Let's just say that it's not good. And he's just a great guy.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. And as you might expect when you're self-employed like that, you probably don't have insurance. So it's going to be a mess for poor Wes.
Cha-ching.
I think somebody had set up.
Always got it. I mean, family-wise, it's just him and his mother. That's it.
Oh boy.
So
Jeez.
I think
Somebody, yeah, they did set something up. I don't think it was on GoFundMe. It was on another app like that, though.
Yeah, I think it was it Tony Stevens from the TV guy? He's a pretty good guy as well. I thought I saw that online. I have to go find it, but there was something out there.
Yeah, yeah. And we encourage everybody to help out with that if you're able to as well, too. He's a heck of a good guy for the entire racing community. Comes up to Slinger when the Nationals are going on, too, to be a part of that.
Break time.
All right, we'll come back. This is the LTN Hour.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Hey, Matthew, give me a hand with this tree.
Dad, let's get a real tree this year.
Hey, leave that fake tree in the box under the basement steps this year. Get a real tree from PMF Landscape on River Road in West Bend. Any kind of real tree imaginable, up to 18 feet. A huge assortment of Christmas decorations, including wreaths in 3 sizes, cemetery wreaths, festive global hanging ornaments, bows, garland roping, and more. Stop in 7 days a week during the holiday season, have refreshments, and check everything out. How about a PMF gift certificate? The perfect gift. PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 South River Road in West Bend. Call them 262-338-8800.
Dad, our tree from PMF Landscape looks great.
And now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
Hey, Toby, hold it down.
Yeah. Dirt racing time. We'll start big dirt racing week down in St. Louis, Missouri this week at the Dome at America's Center. Was once just a pipe dream has turned into an incredible event. The 9th annual Gateway Dirt Nationals. Night number 1, $10,000 to win for the super late models. Bobby Pierce was your winner, and the modifieds was Ricky Thornton Jr. The other half of the field raced Friday night at the Dome at America's Center as my computer screen goes blank. There we go. $10,000 a win. Ricky Thornton Jr. was the winner of that one. And then last night, 38,000 tickets were sold for last night. I did not get the final number as to how many walk-up sales they had, but from the looks of it on the screen, all the bottom sections were full, and the very top section of the Dome was over half full. Just unbelievable amount of people for that event. $70,000 to win last night for the 40-lap Super Late Model feature, and Bobby Pierce led every lap and took home the big money. $10,000 to win for the modifieds, and Ricky Thornton Jr. took home the money there. So just an incredible event, and it just keeps getting bigger every year. Dan, you and I went to the first creation of Cody Summers' event down in Indianapolis back in, I want to say that was like 2014, and we walked out of there thinking, well, indoor racing's never going to work. Did you ever think this would turn out to be like this?
No, I think it was 2016. I think wasn't it?
16? Yeah.
I can't believe that's turned event it was, because after that deal in Indianapolis, I thought no one would ever make an indoor race work again, and they made it work here in St. Louis. They've actually made an event, and everybody comes there. Everybody wants to be there. It's kind of got like a wrestling feel to it, because it's slam bang racing. I mean, that track is so small, and nobody brings their best stuff because you're going to wreck it. But it's got a fun atmosphere about it, and then people come in there, and the teams love it because, boy, they sell some swag.
Yeah. I mean, you're hearing numbers of, quarter of $1,000,000 worth of sales of merchandise. I mean, think about it. You're right before Christmas. They had a little bit of a snafu on Thursday morning as the teams were bringing in now most teams, when you go to a race, have their trailer set up, so they got to unload their whole trailer, and they're given a little piece in the corridor to set it up. And I guess they were getting bigger, they were blocking exits and all that kind of stuff. So Cody Summer got them all in a room and said, hey, you guys screw this up, you're out of here. So you got to follow the rules, because you're following the city of St. Louis rules, and big venues like that isn't like a dirt track. And they all followed it because, let's be honest, they make more money in merchandise sales at this event than you do winning the race, other than maybe Bobby Pierce. But I bet you Bobby Pierce sold more than $70,000 worth of merchandise there too. So they all do it. They do the driver introductions is kind of like a WWE type thing. So Brendan Smith knocked out Kyle Bronson in one of the features earlier on in the week. So Brendan Smith walks out. It's dark. You walk through this tunnel. They have music playing. Brendan Smith walks out saying something like a sign up that says, Kyle Bronson. Kyle Bronson comes up from behind him, picks him up, and slams him through a table. I mean, it's all like orchestrated. The crowd absolutely loves it. And when you race hundreds of times a year, like we do with the dirt late models, to have an event like this, I think it's okay, because you see a lot of purists out there complaining, this ain't real racing. But the money that's being made and the time of the year that it happens, it's an absolute home run for motorsports, I think.
I can see about that setup. The other time with the vendors and stuff, we used to do a show down, we had a motorsports show downtown Milwaukee here at a convention center, and we had a booth there for many years. And setting that up, we get there early, and you wait, and you're trying to, they have to bring everything forward. You can't do anything on your own. There was tables stacked up, and Ed and I went over and just grabbed the table, and the guy got mad because we couldn't grab the table. They had to bring the table to you. They had to plug the plug into the outlet. You couldn't just plug your stuff in, because then it was all written down, and then it was charged to somebody. So it was kind of ridiculous. I kind of get where they were getting out of hand being racers and that, but you got to follow their rules if you want to be in their convention center.
Yeah. So if you want to see highlights of it, anybody that missed it last night and you're a Flow subscriber, Flow has replays of it all. Hop in there, check it out. You can see that. I would encourage you to check out the way the driver introductions are done for both the modifieds and the late models. It's really cool.
If I heard you right, Ricky Thornton Jr. won 1 late model and 2 modified races this weekend.
Correct. Yes.
Wow. Yes. A clear star we have.
And he was second in the late model feature last night.
Unbelievable.
So yes, he's on his game like always. So late models have off now until, I believe, the second week of January, when they head out to Todd, out by you, for the Wild West Shootout this year at Casa Grande's Central Arizona Speedway.
We'll go. I'll be there one night anyway.
That is everything. All you, PJ.
Okay. On to the asphalt side of things. Last night, early this morning, the Snowflake 125 was run down here at Pensacola Speedway, or Five Flags Speedway. Keelan Harvick, Kevin Harvick's son, was the winner in that one. A lot of red flags, a lot of cautions, a lot of wrecks. It was crazy.
13 years old, folks.
Yeah. 13 years old and picking up the win on that. And then now today, we are going to race. We're hoping anyway. Toby, what's the situation with the drivers' meeting?
They're just we're in a holding pattern, and the plan is to race today. And if we don't get it in today, then we're going to run it tomorrow.
Which I hope that doesn't happen. I'd rather get it in today.
Yes, I'd like to watch it today. People have to work tomorrow.
Exactly. Nonetheless, Preston Peltier will be on the pole for the event.
Peltier
will run whenever he starts the race. Ty Majeski will be second, rolling off there, going through the rest of the field for notables that we might be comfortable or knowing about. Cole Butcher, he's going to be starting on the 7th row. Inside, and then sorry, I'm just kind of flipping from the hip here. 8th row outside is Caden Honeycutt. Derek Thorne will be to his inside. Bubba Pollard qualified. He'll be rolling off 20th here, it looks like. Derek Kraus will be 21st. Ty Fredrickson, in his first ever attempt to make the Snowball Derby, is in. He'll be starting 24th in the field. Ryan Preece is in. He qualified in. He'll be starting inside of the 14th row. And then going back further, we had the last chance race. Kyle Busch won that. So he'll be rolling off 16th row inside. Stephen Nasse also made it through the last chance race. He'll be to his outside. And it's just going to be kind of a slobber knocker, I think, if we ever get this thing started.
Gavin Bushell had to take a provisional because he wadded his car up during the one and only practice session, right? And that was
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he did.
In case you never heard of Preston Peltier, he's a West Coast guy. And a couple of years ago at Tucson for the Chili Willy race, if you'll remember, Steve Apel dragged his car all the way out to Tucson to race, and he didn't do good in the beginning, but towards the end he was really coming in a hurry. Well, that race was won by Preston Peltier, so I've seen this guy before. He's really good. He's not young. He said this is going to be his last snowball, so it's a long way to drag a race car anyway. But he's 50-some years old, and you got to love these white-haired, white-beard dudes that actually bring their race cars down and beat some of those 13-year-olds. Pretty cool.
Well, we do hope to get the race started. I mean, again, it has not stopped raining since we've been here and even before that. So it's consistent, and it's hopefully going to stop here around 12:30, but it's going to take a while to get things dried out. And you can watch the race on Flow. Otherwise, if you're here, enjoy the wet.
Yeah, take a break.
All right, we'll be back. This is the LTN Hour.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company in the heart of Wisconsin is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
No. Welcome back to the LTN Hour. We are in the final home stretch of the show here. I got my husband Toby sitting in the car with me as we are in a rain delay here. I got
to ask about the 91 car. What a beautiful looking vehicle that is out on the racetrack now. And that is not how that car left Wisconsin, correct? That became a yellow car down in Pensacola?
It sure did. In the pits, Travis Dassow.
Before it rained, I assumed.
Yeah, he came down and he put the wrap on. Tobe, how long did it take Travis to wrap that car?
Couple hours.
And it was windy. It was cold, windy, and he managed to get that thing put on there. It looks great.
Did you guys just do it? Were people wondering what's going on, and then thinking you're doing some kind of speed secret thing, and all of a sudden the car.
People think you're doing something funny.
What?
When you were putting the wrap on?
I mean, did they?
No.
Something just kind of surprising on them though. Just kind of bring it.
We were messing with some stuff, and they threw it out before we even got to race it. So.
So Toby, does that screw Toby up when the car's out on the track? I mean, you're not used to looking at a lime green car out there, a bright yellow car.
Does that mess you up looking at the? Well, probably not, because you worked with Charlie Menard back in the day, and that's what it looked like.
You can't miss it. I'll say that much for it. It sticks out.
It does stick out, that's for sure. But yeah, it is kind of a flashback for Tobe, because back in like 2003, 2005 or so, Toby was working with Charlie Menard doing the super late stuff. He's actually down here, although I think those were the years that Charlie had the blue car with the Menard splashed neon colors. But
they were yellow.
It was yellow like that too? Okay. So yeah, it's a similar pattern or paint scheme, if it's not really paint.
It sure would be a fun thing if I started winning for Menards and John Menard got all excited and went to Roger Penske and said, I think I want to put this kid into the number 2 car and we'll make it a full-time Menards car. I think that would be awesome.
That would be something.
That would be. So
it's a coloring book.
Maybe one of these.
Just coming from Todd, we were walking in Vegas, but Travis Quapple was driving a 77. And he told Roger Penske he had a good guy in that 77 car. Remember that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Todd's suggestion didn't go very far, but we tried.
No, yeah, we gave it a shot.
God bless you, Todd. I love that you're going to bat for everybody all the time.
There you go. I'm a cheesehead. What can I tell you?
It's good stuff. Good stuff. So tell us a little bit about the excursion you're fixing to go on, Todd.
If anybody has been watching Kenny Wallace lately, he does his coffee with Kenny every morning, and this St. Louis Dome race was really in his wheelhouse. He really should have and would have raced there this week, and is modified. But Kim is the one that wanted to do this cruise and set it up a couple of months ago. And she came on his show and said, if anybody wants to go along. And I started doing the math. And I thought, geez, I'm going to be in Florida anyway, visiting my son who lives down here. Maybe if I just hung around for a week, I could take the cruise. So that's what we did. And we took a train from Tampa to here in Miami yesterday and did an overnighter, getting ready for the bus right now to take us to the cruise. And I don't know, and I assume I'm going to run into him on there. I didn't do it through his fan club. It was much cheaper doing it on my own. Don't tell him though; it'll probably piss him off.
What a guy!
Well, maybe on the 21st. For our show on the 21st, Kenny and you can come on here and give us a cruise wrap-up show or something.
That's a Monday, the 20th. We get back on the. Oh, wait a minute, the 20th.
Yeah, you get back on the 14th, but the week after, we'll give you a week to rest and take some notes, and then see if you can talk to Kenny, and we could do a little wrap-up.
Yeah, see if you can't get him on the show, Todd.
I will most definitely do that because I'm sure he'll want me on his coffee with Kenny. Not. We'll find that out. He's going to do it from the ship, I guess. He's going to record it, or something.
I'll give you a nickel if you walk in the background and wave at the camera.
With an LTN shirt on, right?
Absolutely.
Where were you on? Was it here in Wisconsin? He was on. Was it on Twitter? He did a thing with you about Matt the Brat that time too.
Yeah, he remembered that I'm the one that started calling Matt Kenseth Matt the Brat. So he actually had me. I don't know what that was. It was like don't you get 20 seconds, or you used to get 20 seconds or something like that of a post. Anyway, he had me on when he came to the Milwaukee Mile one time. Yeah, we'll see. I hope he remembers me.
I'm sure he will. You're hard to
a
forget.
couple years ago when we were at 141, we walked into his trailer and he knew right away who you were. So
he did.
Okay.
Wow, yeah.
You could hear him laughing in there. The whole pits could hear him laughing in there. This is going to be a good time.
All right, 1 minute till close. Who's winning the snowball, everybody?
I'm taking Majeski.
Oh, boy.
It's hard not to pick him, but I don't want to jinx him.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. It's not going to be nasty either. Jeez.
I don't know,
take Bubba
I
Pollard.
wouldn't rule Nasty out. He just doesn't qualify well, but he sure does race well here.
All right, I'll take Preston Peltier. What the hell?
Dan?
All right, I'm going to go with Majeski. I know Pollard hasn't won it. Nasty hasn't won it because they've run into each other a couple times here and taken each other out. But
Peltier's last one. He's got to win this one.
Yeah. I mean, I want Ty to win it, but I'm not going to jinx him and take it. So I will pick Casey Roderick.
Ooh.
He's got to start 23rd, but it's a long race.
It is a long race if we ever get the damn thing started, which we will. So, yeah, as Toby said from the drivers' meeting, they're going to try their damnedest to get it in today. We do allegedly have a break in the rain that should be coming our way sometime around 12:30, but it's just going to take some time to get this track dried because it is saturated here with moisture.
Packers Bears at 3:30.
I think you bring a third Tom Dawson trophy up here. We got to build the case. Right now we're on a shelf, but you bring a third one up here, we got to get a case.
Oh, that's a good question. He's asleep now. Otherwise, I'd ask him.
Oh, jeez.
Poor guy's been running 9.
What do you want to know?
They want to know if you get the third trophy, you bringing it home, or you're going to get a case.
Oh, we'll get a couple of them.
Well, all right then. Oh my goodness.
Okay, wrap it up.
Yeah, we're out.
Yep.
We're out. Go ahead, Todd. Do your thing.
I got a bus to catch. You take them out.
Well, I wanted you to scream. Real
No, I can't do that.
All right. We'll be back next Sunday. Thanks for tuning in to the LTN Hour. On behalf of Dan, Brian, and Todd, I'm PJ Noodleman. We'll talk to you next weekend.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.